Nani binalang kasama.
The Central Region, the region blessed with fine scenery, trees, rivers, hills, and even the ocean. It also has a very fine weather, delightful people, wonderful sights and sounds that will excite anyone around. The old buildings, both for the people and the government, are simply breathtaking. They make us remember Ghana's rich tradition, culture, and history. The region known for how well it draws tourists to it, making it very popular in the country. What people do not really know about this place is the other side of things, another side of things which is not all too sweet and beautiful. Behind all this beauty of this place is a sad story, an experience of hardship, impoverishment, and unfortunate limitations. A story not so sweet, known to the locals. In most parts, this region has come to know landslides, shortage of jobs, poor hygiene and sanitation, amongst others. It is most sad to see that a region so bright and promising with talents and possibilities, a place which has an esteemed place in the nation's socio-cultural and political history, could be living a true, harsh reality and experience. However, the people of this region are not just sitting idle and not doing anything about their living conditions. No, they do see all the disadvantages and hardships around them, and they are looking for a way out of it all. It is amazing to know the many positive ways by which the people here are owning their story and rewriting their narrative. They are ready and working tirelessly to change their lives. Far away from the visitors to this region, but right in the middle of its hardships, deep under the thick canopy of trees of Kakumdo, a locality in the Central Region, a young prospective man is one of such people working for change, taking it upon himself his own personal task of changing his and his local community's narrative. His name Samuel Akpalo, as a means of an escape from his and his community's impoverishment, reeking of the foul odors of all sorts of social vices, including teenage pregnancy and streetism, and as a way of effecting substantial and sustainable socio-economic growth and development where he has found himself. He has found the performance arts, dance to be precise. He has both taken center stage on and off the stage to better his life and that of his community. Art, they say, mirrors life. So therefore, what better way to tell his narrative and that of his community? His dance troupe, AFODAT, do not just perform to garner local fame and prestige, but they perform as a collective reflective of their collective communal lives, a force to arrest their at-risk present and a beacon of hope for their future. They strive and have since thrived to be an emblem of empowerment and community building through performance.
My name is Samuel Akpalo. I started my early education at Kakumdo, MA Basic and GSS. Then I continued my education at Cape Coast Technical Institute, where I did draftsmanship and surveying. So after senior high school, then I decided to move on to my passion and my calling, that is the African Foundation Dance Theatre, AFODAT. That's where the whole music and dance history begin. I wanted to continue to the technical university and other stuff, but there was no money in there. So I said, let me use the traditional African music and dance to create an employment for myself and several kids who are into the same situation like mine. You know, the ladies like this, if you leave them like this, sex trade, which end up to STD, STI, teenage pregnancy, school dropout, and other stuff. The guys too, smoking of marijuana, which is illegal, they end up in jail, stealing and other stuff. I have another two their parents are there, but they can't take care of them. And when I saw them on the street, I think 2007, so almost 16, 15 years now. Earlier on, when I saw them on the street, life was very, very difficult for them because they were not in school. Whenever they are ready to go to school, their parents will tell them they should go to farm. They don't have money. School will reopen. They don't have books. They don't have exercise book. They don't have school uniform. They don't have shelter. They don't have clothing.
The gripping grasp of poverty paints a bleak reality for many parents, rendering them unable to provide proper care for their children. The harsh circumstances of poverty hinder access to basic necessities, healthcare, and education, perpetuating a cycle of hardship and limited opportunities.
In our typical village, we have parents who give birth to a lot of children that they cannot cater for.
Their parents have left them on the street. They don't really care. So as I got to know these kids, we were able to move them from the street life, then we put them in school. And now we are able to provide them with their school uniform, their school bags, like school materials and anything that they need for their education.
Join AFODAT, no 8 years, no class 5. Yeah, so 60 years in I'm join AFODAT culture too. Before I'm join AFODAT, no more. Like me, my man, many just saw me. Until now, the group we rehearsals one change and animated. No question be nazi. Into 2 that and no master someone Akpalo. On whom there no boy like our talent and the often no training obey good. To after that, what's in when we been out of school, or in boys and P. Ampomaka, and I guess in the SS, if you are JSS, why is the noble to SS? But true after that, or even on your SS, we are, Cecilia, even for what page you may ask what I made my head. It's saying.
We had another guys also joining us. They are deaf and mute. They can't hear, they can't talk. I have 5 of them. So I don't really do sign language, but I'm very fortunate they've been to school a little bit. So whenever they are trying to communicate with me and I don't understand, they try to write it or they send me a text message.
In a world where communication often relies on spoken language, Victor, a remarkable member of the dance group, who, despite being deaf and mute, finds his voice through the power of dance. He defies the limitations that society has imposed upon him. Through dance, he conveys his emotions, dreams, and aspirations, inspiring those around him to embrace the beauty of diversity and the strength of determination. For the deaf and non-speaking in the group, dance has become more than just an art form. It is a bridge that connects them to a world of possibilities, an avenue through which they empower children facing similar challenges. They have come to understand the importance of providing a nurturing environment where every child can feel included, regardless of their abilities or differences.
So normally when you come to Africa or when you come to Ghana, we don't really care about these deaf and mute people. We just leave them on the street because we are not able to communicate with them. Whether they are going through a whole lot of stuff, we are not able to communicate with them because we can't sign language with them. So these people have been with me for the past 12 years, and now we've moved them from the street life and then we've placed them in several works and they are now taking care of themselves.
In a vast and diverse continent of Africa, where the significance of arts, specifically dance, is often underappreciated, numerous challenges arise, presenting obstacles to its recognition and growth.
Some of the challenges that I have in my community is a lot of people look down on you. They think being a drummer and a dancer is a work for a school dropout, people who takes alcohol or drugs, addicted people, or people who have no life. So sometimes I was being rejected by my own parents because they said I should focus on my education. Dance is a big no.
Dance, an art form that transcends boundaries and speaks the language of the soul. In a community like Cape Coast, can dance truly empower its people, ignite change, and shape a brighter future?
We play true dance and me famous like all the world, do know the Israel. And the state guard, them know the from state guard. Yeah, true dance me to can be from Ghana they and from like other countries. Local. It's no so like if the masumi be a maso made them am boss so oye bin. Maso bo nko fo. Ebi a on Wall Street, boys Wall Street, guess Wall Street. Maso be a kakabo mesma say where they. Maso mutum ma bo one.
The motivation has always been coming from the drumming and dancing. Whenever we have challenges, whenever we are going through a whole lot of stuff and we assemble the drums, then we start rehearsing drumming and dancing. We forget about our worries and everything because the drum gives us joy and brings us together and gives us hope for the future.
Dance means a lot to me. I want to take dance very far, very, very, very far. I want to be one of the best dancers in the whole wide world, yeah.
I've realized that my calling on this set or my purpose on this set is humanitarian work and to help. And these kids or all these kids have never moved back to the street. Like they just need somebody to guide them, like a counselor or like somebody who would be there, like their parents, give them their basic needs so that they don't go back to the street life.
My director, as soon as he gets to the place, the whole of the town will hear that Rasta is in town. Hey, Rasta, you see, everybody will run to him.
So one person taking care of 45 members or kids alone has never been easy. Funding has been a big challenge to us because most of our funding or our source of income normally comes from performance. So if you are there 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, and there's no show, there's no workshop, you can imagine how this group are going to sustain.
Samuel Akpalo, a beacon of hope in the midst of adversity, refuses to accept the status quo. Through the power of dance, he and his dance troupe, AFODAT, have become agents of change, turning the stage into a catalyst for transformation. Dance has become their escape, a means to overcome the challenges of poverty and social vices that plague their community. Together, they prove that through movement, dreams can be realized, barriers can be shattered, and a community can flourish. A dance of hope, empowerment and community building through performance.